Hey, ready?
I am, Judge.
Come up, ma'am.
Judge, I've already explained to Rubio, obviously, the consequences of her actions.
What happens when you can't even make it through your bond period without violating every single rule? Today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping courtroom showdown where a 24-year-old defendant shows up to court testing positive for alcohol after already racking up multiple violations. The judge is absolutely furious. The defense attorney is scrambling, and what unfolds next will have you questioning everything about second chances in the justice system. This isn't just about one bad decision. It's about a pattern of behavior that's pushing this judge to his absolute limit. Buckle up, because this case takes turns you won't see coming.
One, in terms of her bond conditions, and two, that there's a supervision order for DUI PTI sitting in front of you.
I'm seriously at a loss. I mean, I will tell you that for me here, we have a lot of people that come back because of issues that they've had with this program. The number one that probably 90% of the people that come back are the people that have problems while they're on bond, or it takes them forever to get into the program. 90% of those people come back. And here you are. If you think that the way that you've acted on bond is the way that you're going to act in this program, it's not going to happen. Did she test positive?
Yes, for alcohol. Sorry, I did have a glass of wine.
Hold up. Did she just casually admit to having glass? This is the moment everything shifts. We're talking about someone who's supposed to be on their absolute best behavior while on bond, and she's testing positive for alcohol at noon in the courtroom. For those who don't know, the PTI program, that's pretrial intervention, is basically a defendant's golden ticket to avoid a conviction. But here's the kicker. You have to follow strict rules, including a no alcohol. And this defendant, she's already violated multiple conditions before even getting into the program. The judge's statistic, about 90% of violators coming back, that's not just a number. That's years of experience watching people blow their second chances. What would you do if you were this judge?
Judge, she's not making any excuses for her behavior. She told me it was a moment of weakness, Judge. And
How many times has she's failed to submit, no show, and now you're testing positive. And you want me to let you into this program? I don't think so. I don't know what to tell you, but it's unacceptable.
you're completely right, Judge. It is. She's 24 years old. She has the rest of her life in front of her, Judge. She recently went further than she ever had in school. She got a certificate. She's starting a new job. She has so many things ahead of her in her life that could be impacted by a DUI conviction.
And that matters why?
And Judge, you know, the reflection that she's made in the mitigation packet that we've provided to the DA's office to even get her this opportunity, she has reflected on the behaviors that got her into the situation in the first place. And as it relates to the program itself, there are safeguards in place that address this type of issue, that if she did have any issues with drugs or alcohol, she is required to attend supportive outpatient treatment. I don't think this is a situation, Judge, that she's ever going to place herself in again.
I don't believe that for a second. If you try to sell me that, you're trying to tell me that I have a full head of hair. We cannot even get through on bond without violation after violation after violation. And now, the day of court, she's testing positive for alcohol. For her to test positive for alcohol, tells me that she must have consumed quite a bit last night. Because there's no other way someone at noon is going to test positive for alcohol, because alcohol dissipates from your system at a rapid pace. So for you to tell me it's a lie and it's disingenuous.
Boom. The judge just called it out, and he's absolutely right about the science here. For someone to test positive for alcohol at noon means they were drinking heavily the night before. We're not talking about one glass of wine with dinner. The judge just demolished the defense attorney's argument with pure logic, and that bald joke? Savage. But here's what's really happening. This judge has seen hundreds, maybe thousands of these cases. He knows the patterns, he knows the excuses, and he's not by what the defense is selling. The defendant is 24 years old with her whole life ahead of her, sure, but actions have consequences. The defense attorney is fighting hard, bringing up her education, her new job. But is any of that enough when you can't even show up to court sober? Drop a comment below. Is the judge being too harsh, or is this exactly the wake-up call she needs?
I
believe the test that she took was a urine test, which does show a little bit further out rather than simply a day before. And I don't know if it was a positive or negative situation or a quantification of it. So
why are we just getting this now? How is it that she's had a violation since October and we're just now getting this now?
I'm not sure, Judge. I have the fail to submit on 10/17, so you're referring to?
There has to be some kind of consequence. There has to be. Otherwise, I'm not putting my name on a year-long reset for her to do this. There has to be a consequence. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do, McKinney, because I don't know. There has to be a consequence. I'm not going to just acquiesce and let her go without there being some serious, there's got to be something. I don't know. Take a seat for me, man. We got to figure this out, but I don't know how we're going to go forward.
This is where it gets real, folks. The judge just discovered violations dating back to October that nobody told him about. The system literally failed here. Someone at the monitoring agency dropped the ball big time. But notice how the judge isn't letting that excuse the defendant's behavior. He keeps repeating, there has to be a consequence, because he knows that without accountability, this becomes a revolving door. He's not being cruel. He's trying to prevent this woman from becoming another statistic. The PTI program requires a judge to sign off on a full year reset, meaning if she messes up again, she starts from zero. Would you put your signature on that paper knowing she's already shown she can't follow basic rules? This judge is wrestling with enabling versus tough love, and honestly, it's fascinating to watch this internal struggle play out in real time.
Tell me what you got.
we'll circle back, Judge.
Yeah. Set it. You're not going to hurt my feelings, but the problem is that if we don't, we're enabling her. And I'm telling her it's okay to do what you want to do. And it's okay to just miss tests. It's okay to, continue to drink alcohol, because what we're doing, if I let her go now, we will be back here in 6 months with a bunch of violations. And I'm telling you that because I see it here every single day, The one person we've had in this exact situation, we put in jail for 3 days. She's still in for months. So what I'm telling you is I think that when you have that kind of sanction, it wakes them up. I'm not saying for long, but at least 2, so you get the drift. So you get,
What about That hammer hanging over her head.
Mm-mm. It's already hanging over her head. Oh,
Immediate behavior educational something.
that's all stuff she has to do anyways.
Now we're getting to the heart of judicial decision-making. The judge just revealed they put someone in exactly the same situation in jail for 3 days. And guess what? That person is still doing fine in the program. This isn't about punishment for punishment's sake. It's about creating a wake-up call that actually works. The judge is basically saying, look, I've tried the soft approach, and people end up right back here in 6 months. He's seen this movie before, and he knows how it ends. The defense attorney is in an impossible position, fighting for their client while knowing the judge has valid points. But here's the million-dollar question. Is a weekend in jail enough to change someone's behavior, or does real change have to come from within? The judge believes in the short, sharp shock approach, and honestly, his track record seems to back it up.
Hey, Michael. Sorry? I know that you're battling for your client. I get it. I understand, right? She tested positive for alcohol.
This is the first.
It's not, no, it's violation after violation. Today, we were supposed to sign the supervision order. And we've got a BVR here with like 3 different violations. Now, she's testing
It's
positive.
just so weird how they just step up.
It's not supposed to be like that. Someone dropped the ball over there, and I've been on them over and over, and I tell them, how the hell am I supposed to work when you're, we should have been notified this the first time, on the 18th of October, that we can take the necessary steps at that time. As soon as you guys leave here, I'm going to start sending an email to whoever's supervising to say, who the hell do you have working? Mickey Mouse? It's not fair. And so I want a sanction, like 2 days as a sanction.
2 days.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else would be appropriate, because all the things that would otherwise be suggested are things that she has to do anyways. Because I'm telling you, I'm not, because I'm the one that signs off on a year reset. I'm not going to do it. If there's no sanction, I'm not doing it, because it's just not fair to everyone else who does follow by the rules. It's not fair. How do you get the drink? How do you get to continually miss? And then you're just going to ride out it. You're just going to get to move on. If we do that, we'll see her back here in 6 months, 4 months, like the other kid here. And I don't want that to happen. You remember the other girl that we put in jail for 3 days? She's still doing fine.
This is courtroom negotiation at its finest. The judge is laying down the law. Literally, he's calling out the monitoring agency for their Mickey Mouse operation, and he's planning to send a scathing email about it. But he's not letting that incompetence excuse the defendant's behavior. Notice how he keeps bringing up fairness to other defendants who DO follow the rules? That's crucial. Judges have to think about the precedent they're setting for everyone, not just the person in front of them. The proposed sanction? 2 days in jail, likely Friday night to Sunday morning. It's not about destroying her life. It's about sending a message that resonates. The judge is essentially saying, you want the second chance? Prove you deserve it by accepting the consequences of your actions first. The defense attorney knows they're fighting an uphill battle when even they admit all other sanctions are things she'd have to do anyway.
And I'm not saying it has to be today. We can do a turn-in date of like maybe a week or so, but I want it to be soon. I'm not going to do 6 months down the road, but I want it to be, soon, before she starts really getting into the program, so that she realizes, okay, if I violate, this is what's going to happen, but on a long-term basis. And I'm doing it so that she really gets it and understands it, right? What do you think?
I agree.
Let me know. I know that you go talk to Doug, because I know that Doug's going to flip too, I know, but it's the only fair thing to do. And it's not a long time, but it's enough to wake up, get your attention. Hey, we mean business. We're not here to screw around. you're at the wrong place. If you think that what you do at home, at work, however you treat other people, that may work over there, but it doesn't work here.
How do they treat two?
What we would do is we would probably have her come in Friday night, and then she would leave Sunday morning, something like that. No. She'd be out Saturday in the middle of the night. Right, they were probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, release her. They won't even keep her for the full 2 days because really she'd be turning herself in at by 6 p.m. anyways. But I hope that it's enough to get her attention because that's what we want to do.
And there it is. The judge has made his decision, but with surprising compassion in the execution. He's not throwing the book at her. He's giving her a controlled consequence designed to wake her up without ruining her life. Friday night to early Sunday morning. Roughly 30 hours that could change the trajectory of her entire future. The judge even acknowledges the jail will probably release her early, showing he understands the system's realities. What's powerful here is his final message. What works in your personal life doesn't work in this courtroom. That's a life lesson wrapped in a legal decision. He's essentially telling her that accountability isn't optional in the justice system, even if she's been able to avoid it elsewhere. The defense attorney now has to sell this to their client, and possibly to Doug, who the judge predicts will flip at this decision. But the judge stands firm. This is about fairness, precedent, and ultimately saving this young woman from herself.
Talk to her, and then if you want to talk to Doug and let anyone else know, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I don't know how things go. Everybody does things differently. I don't want to, sorry, I didn't mean to. You guys let me know, and then we'll go from there. And then, like I said, didn't have to go in now, but we'll soon, within, like a week or so. Okay? All right. Thanks.
What we just witnessed is the reality of our justice system. It's not black and white. It's a complex dance between mercy and accountability. This 24-year-old defendant came to court testing positive for alcohol after multiple bond violations dating back to October. The judge, faced with signing off on a year-long PTI program that could save her from a DUI conviction, decided that actions must have consequences. His ruling? A weekend jail sanction before entering the program, not as punishment, but as a wake-up call. This case highlights critical issues. Monitoring agencies failing to report violations promptly, the challenge judges face in balancing second chances with public safety, and the harsh reality that 90% of bond violators end up back in court. The judge's decision reflects years of experience watching defendants fail without proper accountability. By referencing a similar case where a 3-day jail sanction led to successful program completion, he's betting that short-term consequences will yield long-term success. If this case taught us anything, it's that the path to redemption requires accepting responsibility first. What do you think? Was a judge too harsh or absolutely justified? Drop your verdict in the comments below. And if you found this courtroom breakdown as compelling as we did, smash that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to see how real justice works. And subscribe to our channel for more explosive courtroom coverage. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the cases that shape our legal system. Until next time, remember, justice isn't just about punishment. It's about creating change.